You can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Chidi Njokuani takes on Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos this Saturday in the co-main event of UFC Fight Night back in the Apex. And this is a really good fight for the co-main event. Kind of a middleweight banger between these two guys who can also grapple. Chidi Njokuani, 36 years old. Both these guys kind of getting up there. Elizeu, I'm just going to call him Dos Santos in this video. He's like 38, but Chidi Njokuani, he is 36. He's 6 foot 3 inches tall with an 80-inch reach. So gonna have a pretty decent reach advantage in this. I think Dos Santos is 5'11", 73-inch reach. So he's gonna have a 7-inch reach advantage, and I do think he's the better striker in this one. So gonna have a huge distance advantage in this fight. Chidi Njokuani, primarily a Muay Thai striker. Excellent striking, great kicks, very fast hands, good combinations, throws really good strikes, and especially knees from the clinch when he can get his hands on people, get the Muay Thai plum in the middle of the cage or get him against the cage. He does really solid work like we saw in his last fight against Jared Gooden. Taking on Dos Santos, who's also a really good striker, tons of experience, been in the UFC for a long time. Great leg kicks, jiu-jitsu black belt. Used to throw a lot of spinning techniques. I think he KO'd Sean Strickland with like a spinning wheel kick back in the day, but doesn't seem to be throwing that very often anymore. Very good jiu-jitsu black belt. Doesn't have the best takedowns though. I think he has like a 20% takedown accuracy rate, and Chidi Njokuani has like a 70% defense rate. So I think this is going to be taking place primarily on the feet. And that being said, I've got to go with Chidi Njokuani in this one. I think he's obviously the rangier guy, and it's just hard for me to pick the younger guy. Or harder for me not to pick the younger guy when Dos Santos is 38 years old, who's got a 7-inch reach advantage, and I think is the better striker. He's coming off of a win over Jared Gooden and Reese McKee, not the best, most high-level guys in the world. He did have a loss to Mikhail Olechechuk, Albert Duraev, and Gregory Rodriguez, but I just think this is going to play out on the feet, and I think he's going to outpoint Dos Santos, might even chin him. Dos Santos, he was supposed to fight Nicholas Dalby, but then Nicholas Dalby got hurt or had to pull out, so he just absolutely ran through Zach Scroggin, who should have never been in there with her. Didn't look like he wanted to be in there. But the main reason I'm picking Chidi is because Elizeu, his fight against Randy Brown was very telling, and Randy Brown is 6'3", pretty much the same frame as Chidi Njokuani. I just don't think he's as good as Chidi. I think Chidi's the better striker, and Dos Santos had a lot of issues with the range of Randy Brown in that fight. Randy Brown was landing knees. I think Elizeu was getting takedowns, but he was getting back up. But I just think Chidi Njokuani is going to be able to not necessarily piece him up, but be landing the better strikes on the feet. I am concerned about Dos Santos' chin, just because he did get knocked out by Jiangling Li, who I don't think is as good as Chidi Njokuani. But he did fight guys like Muslim Salikov and Wa Saint Denis, Renat Vakhritinov, and didn't get hurt there. So Zaleski's no slouch. He was making a run for the belt back in the day until he ran into Jiangling Li and got knocked out. But before that, he was on an 8-fight winning streak heading into that. But ever since then, he's kind of gone win-loss. Is coming off of the win, like I said, back in November against Zach Scroggin, but really don't learn anything from that fight. I know Chidi Njokuani is the underdog here. He's plus 150, which isn't terrible, against Elizeu, who's minus 180. I just think he's getting up there in age. Again, 38 years old. Been in the game for a long time. At some point he's going to slow down, and I feel like he's already kind of slowed down just by looking at his older performances versus now. He's not throwing the spinning techniques. If he doesn't win the striking contest on the feet, I don't think he's going to be able to get Chidi onto the ground, and Chidi's no slouch on the ground either. So I'm going to go with Chidi Njokuani. I don't think he finishes him. I think he just outpoints him on the feet and gets a decision. So I'm going to go with Njokuani by decision. Thanks, guys.